Hello everybody, welcome back to the Integrity Botanicals YouTube channel. Today is my third and final palette review from Lily Lolo, and this time it is all about the Smoke and Mirrors palette, which I was really excited to play with. As usual, all of the Lily Lolo packaging is the same. So it has the black hardcover on the front with a little sort of shiny embossing in it. It does collect some fingerprints because it's sort of NARS-esque, but not quite as rubberized. If you guys are familiar with that. Whoops, almost dropped it. Anyway, on the back here, it is all white, and it does have all the shades listed right there on a sticker, which is really great, especially for someone like me who does makeup tutorials, so I can relay the information to you in a way that's not just pointing and gets a little bit confusing. So I love that about it, and as with all the palettes, has a beautiful, great big mirror here. You could definitely do your entire face of makeup in there if you so chose, making it a little bit great for traveling as well, and it is also nice and sleek. This palette will retail $34 just like all of the others, and does contain 8 beautiful shades ranging from sort of mattes to more shimmery to actually quite sparkly shades. So I'm just gonna get right into the swatches, and then I will talk through the eye look that I have on right now in case you guys would like to recreate it, because I'm really thrilled with how it came out actually. Anyways, let's start off with the lightest shade over here in the corner. This is the shade Reflection, and Reflection is a beautiful matte sort of bone shade. Definitely has a little bit more of a yellow undertone to it, which I think makes it a little bit more wearable as well, but I actually use this to base out my entire eye look today. That's what I really like to use these shades for. Helps the blending process, and also lends itself to a nice, just clean, even canvas for us to work off of. Next up, we have the shade Looking Glass, which I adore the shade. This might be my favorite shade in the palette. I think a lot of you guys will like it. It's just a shimmering sort of light nudie peach, nothing too vibrant, nothing too sparkly, nothing too intense, but really makes it look clean across the eyelid. Or you could even base out your entire lid in this as well, from lid to brow. If you like a little bit more sparkle, that would be a really great option for you. Moving along to a beautiful pink shade called Illusion. And Illusion is really nice because it has good color payoff to it, and it's a lot more cool tones. And you guys know what I love about cool tone shadows, especially like the Kjaer Weis has like a light pink that I really like as well called Angelic. It's very brightening to the eye, so I think these look really great as lid shades. They look really great in the inner corner of the eye, or if you have a much more light cool tone complexion, this will make a really good brow bone shade for you as well. Really pretty. Moving along and transitioning into a little bit more deeper shades, probably the most versatile shade in the palette is the shade Myth, and Myth is just a lovely sort of dark brown shade. Good neutral tone. I would say it leans a little bit more warm if I had to pick, but I love that because a lot of this palette is so cool toned. I think it's really important to have a warm shade to sort of break it up. Also a matte one at that, so we could sort of use it to base out the eye look. Just sort of necessary, so you can have a one and done palette. I think that's essential. Moving right along to just a slightly darker shade in Silhouette. Silhouette is also a brown, but it has almost like a grayish purple tone to it. So it's like a matte taupe. They're really great for deepening it up a notch, or like I said, if you prefer cool tones, go ahead and take this one in the crease as well. Has a very similar effect, but it's equally beautiful and equally versatile in the palette. I love that little bit of purple to it. I think it makes it very unique. Then we have the shade Hocus Pocus, and Hocus Pocus is sort of like a charcoal gray shade. Definitely the most pigmented of the bunch and the most smooth. It doesn't grab at all. Just really gorgeous, similar to the shades that we were seeing in the Petal to the Metal palette, but it's nice to have this one here as well, because if black is a little too stark for you, gray is definitely the way to go, or a good chocolatey brown. Just a good way to add dimension to it. This one, by the way, does have a slight sheen to it, not any chunks of sparkle at all, but does have a little bit of luminosity to it, so it's more like a satin. It's not a very flat matte. Then we have the shade Intrigue, which again has beautiful pigmentation to it. And it is very similar to Hocus Pocus. It just doesn't have that iridescence to it. And it is also quite a bit darker. So this would be a really good way to start building up the crease if you wanted to do a smoky eye with the end half of this palette. Something like that. Really, really great. Again, a good alternative to black. And since it is not very shimmery, this we can use to do some crease work, add a little bit of depth, or even use as a faux liner if you so wish. And finally, we have the most sparkly shade in the bunch and another beautifully pigmented one. These all three are definitely in sort of the same family. And this shade is called Deception. And Deception is the darkest of all the grays that I have shared. It looks sort of black in the pan, but it really is not, especially because it has beautiful silver glitter in it. It's not very chunky to the touch. You don't really notice it when applied, but if you really did pack it on there, you would, or if you use something like a glitter glue base, it would probably adhere to it just a little bit more. But my favorite thing about this palette is that the fallout of these products is so minimal, especially in comparison to the other palettes that I have talked about. Really, really smooth, great pigmentation, and great blendability, I think, in this palette more so than the other two, I will say. Though I love them all, this definitely has my heart. Love the versatility of it, everything like that. So before I let you guys go, clearly I'm really, really loving this palette. Let me just talk you through my eye look in case you wanted to recreate it, and it will also show you sort of the products in action and sort of what I'm talking about. So like I said, I love the first shade Reflection to sort of base out my entire eyelid all the way up to my brow bone to sort of make just a good smooth canvas and help everything blend seamlessly. So I took a beautiful big Delium Tool 778 and I loaded that all the way from lid to brow, like I said, helped everything blend out and really just sort of set the concealer I had on my eyelid in place. Moving along, I took the one and only Delium Tool 785 brush and I took that into Myth. And I just worked that into the crease first and foremost. You guys know that's sort of what I like to do. I did take it in quite far, almost towards the nose. If you have a very furrow brow or just deeper set eyes, I wouldn't go ahead and do that. But on my slightly hooded eyes, I think it suits my eye shape a little bit more. Using the same exact shade, I deepened that up, kicked it up a notch with the shade Silhouette, which is that beautiful taupey eggplanty shade, which is also matte. So really, really great to get some crease work in. Added the perfect amount of definition and they both just blended together so easily. Barely had to try, and I did just take a tiny little bit of product on the tip of the brush in order to not make a big mess all over the place. Right after that, I did take the Delium Tools 934, which I love to pack down color with, and I took the shade Looking Glass, which is that beautiful sort of sheeny, peachy nude color, and I took that all the way over the lid. And even though I went back and I blended to help create a smooth finish, I didn't really feel the need to go back and reapply this again, which is really nice because sometimes as we blend the color dissipates. This clung onto the original shade I put down as a base really well, and also just sort of made my look a lot more fresh because I tend to go very smoky with my looks on accident. It just sort of happens. I can't help it. I did also take Myth and Silhouette underneath the lash line as well, in case you guys are wondering what that bit of shadow is. Almost done with the look here. I did take the Kjaer Weis Definition brush because all my Delium Tools brushes are dirty. Overdue to wash them, but this is a really, really great brush for the inner corner. So I took that beautiful pink shade in Illusion, dabbed a tiny little bit into my inner corner. It's not the most pigmented of shades, but it does make a difference because of its beautiful, cool tone. If you guys are makeup addicts, you know what I mean. It's just the way it is. Really nice and uplifting and add a little bit of brightness to the inner corner, which again helped open up the eyes. And finally, I took a little bit of Intrigue, which is almost the deepest shade, and I sort of ran that along the lash line and I flicked it ever so slightly up into my crease. I did have a little bit of eyeliner smudge there and I used that to sort of blend it out. I like that sort of lash line definition and the definition sort of in the outer corners to bring my eyes this way. You guys know that. Whenever I review these, I do like to do quite simple makeup looks because I want to give the palette a fair chance, because if I try something new, I might just not like the technique rather than these shadows. Alright you guys, so that is it. That is my quick review on the Lily Lolo Smoke and Mirrors palette. I really hope you guys liked it. Sort of my final thoughts for you, if you will. This is definitely my favorite of the three. So if the shades are speaking to you as far as versatility, pigment, and blendability, I think it reigns supreme. I think it's really, really great. I could see myself using this on a much more regular basis than the other two, though I absolutely love them. Again, what I love about all three of the palettes is you get a really simple daytime look, or you can really kick it up a notch. I am somewhere in the middle today, but I was really, really pleased with this. I think the price point's great. Lily Lolo is just a great brand in general. But like I said, if these shades were not speaking to you, I will have my 2 other palette reviews down there in the description box down below so you guys can check it out. Let me know what your favorite is in the comments down below as well. And don't forget to check out the description box for all product links, video links, and I will also have an ingredients list and price points for you guys. I do also list a photo of all the shades swatched so you can see them, and you don't have to watch the video every single time you do, just to help you guys out. But don't forget to check out our social media down there as well. We are everywhere. And most importantly, give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe, because I upload new videos here every single Monday and Friday. But as always, I really appreciate you guys watching. I really hope these palette reviews helped. Let me know what you want to see reviewed next and swatched, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!